What is up today, YouTube? For today's video, I'm going to be headed to the city park in Portsmouth, and we're just going to set the camera up and I'm going to talk a little bit about some personal reflections, and we'll enjoy some weather brought to you courtesy of the latest hurricane that's off the coast of Virginia. It's not quite as rainy as it was all day today, but stay tuned and enjoy the video.
Fehu's state of mind is a personal journey that I want to share. It is a quest for wealth, but not monetary. My journey is leading me to happiness, experience, and knowledge to create a better me. Join me on my adventure and dare to create your own. I am Sean McDaniel, and this is Fehu's State of Mind.
So, like I said, good afternoon, YouTube. As I said, we're here at the city park. This is one of the shelters that they have that people can normally rent. Currently, there's nobody renting it because it's raining outside. Well, it's rainy outside, and not too many people want to be outside. So anyway, I figured it'd be a good place to come and do my video today, talk to you guys about what was on my mind. And today that's actually just kind of going retrospective into my mind and looking inside, kind of figuring out who I am in this journey of finding Fehu and who I want to be. So it's always healthy to want to be yourself, obviously, and that's who I want to be, as myself. But there's a couple role models, per se, characters that are kind of role models for me in my life, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. So I guess I'll go in chronological order. One of the first ones that I was ever introduced to was Batman, actually, and Bruce Wayne himself as well. But Batman, it's always been kind of my favorite superhero, and what his character brings to me is tenacity. It's chasing after your passion. His passion happens to be fighting crime. It's having a sense of justice, having a code of honor that you follow, and doing what's right. And that's what I've always kind of just taken away from Batman, is that's what's important, is to have that code of honor and to do what's right. So Batman's kind of my first role model, and then we'll move on and we'll go to Wolverine. I found out about Wolverine when I was in my teenage years. I like Wolverine because Wolverine's raw. Wolverine is 100% driven by just emotions and feelings, and maybe to the same extreme as Batman is to being, analytical and driven by process. So Wolverine's kind of there on that side of things for me, is just being the raw human. And connecting with the animal side of being a human. So that's role model number 2. As I got older, the characters that kind of intrigued me and drew me in became more complex. And there's parts of them that I really like and parts of them that I really don't like. A lot of them keep a certain element of Batman's code of honor, maybe not what we would typically perceive as code of honor, but inside their world a code of honor. So my next one is actually Jack Sparrow. I don't much care for Johnny Depp anymore because, he's kind of gone off the loony bin, but his characterization of Jack Sparrow is amazing in my opinion. Jack Sparrow is kind of just the kind of guy who blends in, no one takes him seriously, but he's very, very aware of what's going on. He plans out everything that is going to happen, even though it doesn't seem like it. So Jack Sparrow's he's the pirate that I the pirate aspect of my personality, as well as Blackbeard, who happens to be one of my all-time favorite pirates, and that's just because of the ability that he had to create his persona and to create a myth around himself that was terrifying and respected and became infamous, if not famous. So then we'll move forward just a tiny bit more, and Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. Jax Teller's character really spoke to me on a lot of levels. As you guys know from my previous videos, or if you haven't watched my previous videos, you can link to them right here at this at the card at the top of the screen. I'm a police officer, and it so happens that my dad's a police officer, my brother's a police officer, and when I watched Sons of Anarchy, I really kind of got a better understanding of me and what drew me into law enforcement, even more so than the job and some of the other characteristics of myself. But it made me understand that some of it was chasing what I didn't understand maybe from my childhood. The same as Jax Teller chases the motorcycle club, and subsequently he wants out of it, but every time he tries to get out of it, he gets drawn in further. And I don't agree with Jax's choices in life with the motorcycle club and with the criminal behavior, but it is a TV show. But Jax is also a person with a vision, and he tries to follow his vision, and I like that. So the next character that kind of rang a bell with me is actually Raymond Reddington, and he's another criminal in the show too. But what intrigues me about Raymond Reddington in the show Blacklist is his ability to always be 5 steps ahead, maybe more. He knows what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and it's not just because of his contacts. It's about he meticulously plans things and orchestrates events, and I took that as a neat trait to try to adapt, as opposed to living for the moment, living in the moment, and making decisions based on the moment. To move more towards making plans and figuring out a couple steps ahead. And lastly, the guy who kind of puts it all together, really honestly, is Ragnar Lothbrok from the show Vikings. And Ragnar's character kind of just does. He just kind of puts all that together. He has a code of honor. He has the spirit of adventure of Jack Sparrow. He has the raw emotions of Wolverine. He's very passionate about his family, and he's very passionate about his cause, trying to move his people to a place where there's more farmland. He's very thoughtful as to what his next move is, and throughout the series you get to see him progress. He's never really asking for more roles of leadership, but he kind of directs himself in that way. And so Ragnar kind of just brings all those characters together, and it's kind of what I would like to become. Maybe not a Viking in true sense, and definitely not raiding and pillaging. Not really my speed, and also not as well. 2017. It's not 700 BC or AD. So anyway, what does all this mean? What is my takeaway from this? Well, my takeaway is that it's important to always be yourself. Number one, you have to be yourself, because if you try to be somebody else, it's not going to work. It's going to fall apart, and you're going to not be happy trying to be somebody else. I think we can always strive to be better and strive to push ourselves a little bit more and to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. I'm not a good person at planning 5 steps ahead. Definitely not. I have a hard time planning 2 steps ahead. But when I started working to do so, I noticed that starting to plan 2 steps ahead, having a goal that's just 2 steps ahead, how I was going to get there, changed a lot of things for me. And it's not been an overnight change. And there have been some other things that have just fallen into place that have helped me. And for example, we did get a raise at work, so we're a little bit better off financially. I've tried to make some better choices in my life. Between that and my wife also getting a raise at work and having a second job that pays her well, that she loves to do, we are now able to afford buying a car. And that's something 2 years ago we weren't able to do, but I wanted to be able to do because I wanted my wife and my kids to have something reliable to get around in. And we're there now. We currently have a car. We're very blessed to get a really nice car. Actually, if you live in the Hampton Roads region and you're looking for a car, this is not sponsored by them, but my cousin works at First Team Subaru in Suffolk. That's where we got our car. Russell Terrell, he definitely hooked us up, not even with a deal, but he just helped us with the process, and made car buying a lot more of a enjoyable experience than I thought it could be. So check them out. There's a link at the bottom for First Team Subaru, and they're good to work with. But we weren't there 2 years ago, but I wanted to be, and we've slowly worked to get there. And like I say, we're blessed now, and hopefully we can keep going. Hopefully I can keep going and keep growing and keep sharing with you guys. So hope you enjoy this video. Remember, be yourself first, but don't be afraid to have people that you look up to, that you think that they would be, that traits of them would be beneficial to you, because they might be. Obviously that could go too far. If you became obsessed with something like Batman, it would become a position where you're letting something take over your life that really shouldn't. So don't go too deep into somebody else's traits or somebody else's character, but understand that it is okay to kind of pull from other people, to pull from real people, not just movie and TV characters. We all know somebody in our lives that we just really look up to. For example, and he is on TV, but he is a real person as opposed to Reddington, Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain is kind of where some of my inspiration comes from with this channel. The way his shows have always been done is a goal of mine. Now, I can't do the traveling right now, but the way that No Reservations and his other shows have been done, I can't think of the other titles, but the way his shows are done have really intrigued me. So the person he is now is a person that I admire because of his drive and his views on society, his willingness to go and look at society and bring it to our living rooms. So that's just, you know, a real life example. You know, and there's plenty more. Other videos will probably share aspects of them, you know, aspects from my dad, aspects from my granddad. That's for future videos though. So this is my adventure. What will yours be? And remember, like the video if you do like it. Give me that thumbs up. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see come from future videos. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, or if you currently subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. I do try to release them on Wednesdays. So keep an eye out. You can also follow the links to my website or my Facebook page where I keep things updated as well. And please join me for the next one. Again, thank you for your viewership today. And that's all for right now.